Hey guys, picked up my trailer and I'm fixing to go back home. But sometimes I have a list of videos I want to do, and then sometimes people bring up subjects that I think about them and I'll respond to your questions. I try to do everybody's responses when they ask me questions. I think I've answered everybody so far up to now, and sometimes they bring up a subject that I just assume a lot of things, and guys, sometimes I will take things for granted. I have a bad habit doing that with my wife. I kind of expect her to read my mind, or I expect people to know things. It comes from the point of view that I have common sense, and it's kind of the thing that you get to an intersection and I know the person to my right has the right of way, or if the other person gets there before me, they have the right of way. But then you get to the intersection and everybody's stopped and nobody knows what to do and where to go, and even though you're not supposed to go, you're looking at the person that is supposed to go, and you're like, what's going on? So when I talk about some things, or I just assume some things, I kind of forget. But with the conversations and the comments you guys bring up, it helps me to sometimes put things in perspective. So onward and forward, here's my subject for today: insurance, guys. And I'm not talking about the insurance that the transport company is going to give you. I'm not talking about unladen insurance, which I know Horizon offers it. The problem I have is I don't have a understanding of the other companies if they require it. But just so you know what unladen insurance is, for those of you guys that don't have CDLs, that don't know what this means, it means that when you're driving your truck with nothing behind it and you're empty, you're driving back from a load, you're on a time log, you get into an accident. Now, quote unquote officially, I know we're supposed to have our signs on the outside, but I'm going to say I've seen people that don't have them. Okay? And I want to leave that subject at that. Because when you're riding empty, nobody has a clue what you're doing. You're just driving along. You're just another Joe Smith driving down the road, and nobody has any clue what you're doing and where you're going. And I tend to try I try to stay under the radar. I don't like to draw attention to myself. I do not like being a magnet to anybody, whether it's law enforcement or thieves or anybody. I want to try to stay like the traffic. You see traffic going by, and you're not going to differentiate between one car from another. It just drives down the road, right? So that's what unladen insurance is that when you get into an accident and you're running down the road empty, you are subject, because you are technically still working for the company. Somebody can sue the company because you are technically still an employee, or a contractor, not an employee, for them. So that's what unladen insurance is. It's to cover their butts. Basically, general liability that covers them if you go and hit some lady and, God forbid, you got some huge $200,000 accident, and basically they want to go after the other company because they're going to say, hey, he was working for you, he was driving for you, even though you don't have a trailer. So that's what unladen insurance is. I don't know if all the companies carry it, so that's just something you need to ask. And it doesn't really, not to be cruel, but I don't care, because unladen insurance has nothing to do with me. In other words, it doesn't give me on my behalf any money to anybody. It's to pay somebody that sues the company. They're going to sue me probably in the same scenario anyways, and that unladen insurance is going to pay for me. It's going to pay for them. So that's basically what unladen insurance is, as far as I understand it. Now maybe it's wrong, I have to read the details, but that's what it's been explained to me and interpreted to me. It's basically for the transport company to cover their ass, and you're paying for it. But the insurance I want to talk to you guys about is your truck, your personal, your work truck, your vehicle. Guys, I don't know if I've hinted to you, but things aren't always greener on the other side, and I'm going to be making a video pretty soon that I'm going to more than likely go back to Horizon. There's just too many expenses running for the dealership that the dealership I thought was going to pay for, and they're not. One of my concerns, this is a concern of mine, is that I have insurance through my insurance company prior, just like everybody else does, normal, regular, comprehensive collision, because I have the truck financed. I have to have collision. So I have that insurance, and I've got insurance for everything, uninsured, underinsured. I'm the type of person that I like to have insurance for everything because I don't want to worry about it. I want to have that peace of mind. To me, I am concerned that if I run down the road, and it's already happened to me, it's from experience also, that somebody hit me. It's happened to me. Somebody's hit me from behind, and I was in one of those 2 or 3 car crashes where I was the person in front and there was like 2 or 3 guys behind me, and because the 2 guys behind me, their insurances were fighting over who was the person at fault, I ended up the one getting screwed. But if I would have had uninsured, underinsured, that would have covered me. So that's what I carry, that, and I carry everything else, and I try to make sure I carry my liabilities high, because anything you hit nowadays is going to be costing you 40, 50 grand. 100 grand ain't nothing. But I'm just that type of person. So anyways, one of my concerns is that when you have the insurance, and one of the guys commented right now that the transport company told him, don't tell your insurance that you're running a transport business or you're putting your truck as a commercial vehicle, because then your insurance will go through the roof. Guys, it's true. Okay? You have to factor that into your costs. But one of the things that I like, and that's why I'm going back to Horizon, one of the things I like about Horizon is through their insurance, they offer insurance for your truck. The quote I got for my truck was $150 a month. Now, my personal insurance right now is, I have to think about this because I pay $900 every 6 months. They jacked my insurance up from my last 6 months. So my insurance went up for no reason. Didn't have any accidents, didn't have any reasons for them to do that other than just because maybe they're stealing more trucks there in my area in Houston. I don't know. But they jacked up my insurance. It went up. It went up to $900 for my truck. And I think it's $900. It was either $900 or $600 because I have my RV and my truck. Either way, guys, it's over $100 a month. It's like anywhere between $150 and $180 a month. These guys are going to give me commercial insurance, and they even told me it doesn't matter whether you're driving the truck for business, whether you're driving it for personal use. If you're pulling your trailer, you're still covered because I have an RV. So it doesn't matter. It works just like my personal insurance when I'm on my personal time, and it covers me for my business insurance when I'm running for the company for $150 a month. That's awesome. That is fantastic, guys. And that, to me, is, again, peace of mind. Peace of mind. I don't have to worry. I've got the right insurance. I'm covered. I don't need to, run down the road and think about those things. So be careful, guys, that when you're signing up for any company, again, I'm not telling anybody that you need to sign up with the company I signed up with, Horizon. It's a good company, and they offer a lot of benefits. That was another benefit they offer. But if you're going to work with a transport company, and they're already telling you up front, hey, don't tell your insurance company that you're going to be using your truck for work. Well, what's going to happen is the first time you get into an accident, and if you're pulling a trailer, you're probably screwed. They're going to figure it out and they're going to drop you. If you get into an accident, let's just say you do that, you hit a car, and you don't have your truck, your trailer. You're in your house, you're in your own town, and you hit a truck. Here's what's going to happen. Again, guys, I have experience working with insurance because I've had a couple of accidents, a couple of trucks that have been stolen from me. So I've had a little bit of interaction with insurance. But here's what's going to happen. Think about this. You told them before, when they asked you, remember that question they asked you, how many miles do you put on your truck? And of course, because it was true back then, I didn't use my truck for anything. I had a company truck. I said, 5,000 miles a year, maybe 10 if I'm lucky. And the reason why you tell them that you're not going to use your truck that often is because, hey, if you tell them you're using your truck and you're putting 25, 30,000 miles, they're going to jack up your insurance, okay? So I tell them, and it was truthful back then. It was like telling them, like 5 or 10. But if I show up, guys, and they know when I bought this truck, so they know when the truck was purchased, they know when I have the truck. If I go back, guys, and I have an accident, the adjuster's going to go and they're going to take all the information off of the truck. So when they see your truck has 100,000 miles and the truck's only a year old or even 2 years old, it doesn't even matter. It's going to raise a flag. They're going to be like, well, he's lying to us. He's not putting in 5 or 10,000 miles. So the problem is, guys, you're going to be on, I don't know what to say, borrowed time, but I could go with the attitude that, well, I don't have accidents. My last accident, I was a kid, and my last incident was when my truck got stolen. That was 10 years ago, or about 10 years that my last truck got stolen. So then the question comes up is, well, I could just wing it, I don't get it. I haven't got into any accidents. I haven't had any claims, and that's true, guys. But Murphy's Law comes into effect. Who knows? Maybe it's your time to have that accident. You don't want to have it. And again, I'm not saying I'm looking for it. I'm not. I'm careful. I try to avoid accidents like the plague. I don't want to have an accident. I try to read people when I'm driving. It's not just about being a defensive driver, but I'm also offensive in the sense that I'm always looking to see what I've already gotten to an experience where I can see a person and see what they're doing, look at the person in the front seat. Are they texting? So I get an idea what a person's doing. So I've been able to be in a position where I haven't got into accidents because I pay attention. So, but it doesn't matter. You can get distracted. I can get distracted. I can be texting, and it happens. Shit happens. I want to say it out there. It happens. But the whole point is that I make this video is, don't ask them. I will tell you this: if you do tell your insurance company you're thinking about it, they have a flag they're going to put up on your insurance policy. So you don't even want to talk to them until you're ready to say cancel. And even then, you don't even want to tell them that you're canceling because you're going into commercial. You just want to tell them, hey, I'm canceling my insurance. I'm moving on, going somewhere else. Okay. And that's all you want to tell them. They don't need to know your motivations and your reasons. Sometimes they may try to ask, but I've never had an insurance company come back at me and change my quote when I tell them I'm pitching it against somebody else. It's one thing I've learned. Insurance companies quote you a price, that's the price you're going to get. I've never seen anybody, unless it's a broker, an individual that sells insurance, that sometimes may be willing to work with you on a price. But when you're calling in to places like Geico, Progressive, you're doing quotes online, and even you get a customer service rep on the line, and you say, hey, yeah, well, I'll say give me a better price. They're just going to be like, well, go to them. I'm sorry, that's it. So there's no sense in telling them why you're going to leave or what's your motivations. Who cares? And it's none of their business, But I'm a private person as well, guys. If you can figure it out, I don't like to tell people. I come out and do these videos. I'm trying to help people, so that's the reason why I'm doing it. But I don't go out and tell people stuff to brag or I'm very careful. I've learned, don't say more than what you have to say. And so when you're doing your insurance, guys, when you're looking at transport companies, ask them questions. Do you guys offer insurance for my truck? Even if, I'm not talking you paying for it, but do you offer me through your insurance company insurance I can buy and carry on my truck while I'm running for you? Ask them that question, or ask them, hey, what do you all do about insurance for vehicles? And if they tell you that thing, like, hey, dude, don't tell your insurance company, or they're gonna jack you up. I don't know, man. That just tells me, that's a flag that raises in my head to say, I don't know about that. I don't know if I really want to run with them. Taking my own advice, I probably should have asked more questions to my buddy. He kind of just sandbagged me and told me, oh, yeah, don't worry about this, don't worry about that. But again, the other thing is I learned about the insurance too, because I jumped off of Horizon. I went with him, and then I started shopping around for insurance for my truck. And I'm like, dang, that sucks. That extra money ain't going to cut it for me. So it's one of the reasons is I'm learning, as a lot of other people are learning. But as I figure it out, I tell you guys so that it can hopefully help you make those, avoid those bad decisions. Because what sucks is now I jumped over from Horizon to my buddy. He, painted a real pretty picture, tell me this money, blah, blah, blah. I gave into it. I bought into it. I was sold on it. He sold me on it. He's a hell of a salesman. He's a good BSer. The guy knows how to bullshit and sell coffee to the guys down in Arizona when it's 120 degrees. So the guy knows what he's doing. But the problem is it doesn't last long. And I'm starting to figure out that it's not worth it. And the problem I'm going through now is I'm flip-flopping. And I hate to do that. I don't want to do this. But it just causes so many issues with me, interrupting my ability to just focus on driving. Again, distractions. This is a distraction that I have to deal with, because I called the company. They told me they'd take me back, but then I got to go on a certain day, and that certain day that I come down will probably affect me. If I don't come down this week, I have to come down next week, because the following week is then July 4th, and they're going to be shut down on Mondays, which is the day they told me to go. So it sucks, but again, if you learn from it, more power to you guys. And these are the things you got to factor in when you're going to run independent. These are the other things that you got to think about, because the quote I got to run commercial insurance, and I got it from a guy that does and specializes in RV transports. They're up in Fort Wayne, Indiana. The guy's name's Chris. I got to get his, I think it's Brown and Brown, but I got to get their exact name of insurance company. And the guy quoted me $4,000 for commercial insurance. He needed $800 down, and I was gonna have to pay him like $300 or $400 a month. I was like, I don't know about that. So that's one of the reasons why now I've had to reconsider my decision. I thought it was great, but I'm figuring it out. It's not. Grass wasn't green on the other side after all. And frankly, I think I can make more money with Horizon. I was helping him out to do him a favor. I thought I was helping him out, doing him that kind of a favor, but in the end, it's business, and I got to keep it that way. And that's one of my mistakes I made, is I let my personal feelings influenced my decisions, and now I'm paying for it. I'm going to rectify it and I'm going to fix it, but it is costing me money, and I'm not going to do that anymore. I should have learned, but I should know better. I don't know. It was just because this particular individual has a lot of influence on me. He's helped me out so much when I started out in the RV industry. He's just one of those guys. He's my kryptonite, so to speak, in the sense that he knows how to push my buttons and convince me. So I kind of had to walk away from that, get away from that, take my feelings out of it, keep it business, and I decided it's not worth it, and I've already told him. So now that's why I'm moving on to Horizon. But I'll make a video about that. I'm going on and on here. But I hope this information helps you guys about your insurance, what questions to ask when you're going to your company that you're thinking about going to work for. And don't be afraid to ask, because they're not going to be there to help you. And when you get into an accident and your insurance is dropped, and then you got to go turn around and buy any insurance to keep running, you're going to be screwed. So avoid that. All right. I hope you all guys take care. If you like my videos, please like them. I really appreciate it. If you like, want to hear more videos from me, subscribe. And pretty soon when I get onto Horizon, I'm going to be asking you guys to refer me. Officially, I'm not on there yet, so it may not work. But guys, if you are thinking about coming to Horizon, I'm going to start saying it on all my videos. Please give them my name. My driver number is 4390. They have me under Manuel, but everybody calls me Manny. And you can tell them, hey, Manny referred me, and I would appreciate it. But it's not going to be official for probably about a week or two, because I got to go on a Monday, and it's Saturday. I'm here in Indiana, and I'm leaving back down. There's no freaking possible way I can make it back up here Monday this week, and next week's going to be kind of tough. So it may be a week or two, but I'll be back on with them, and I may have to run a couple of more runs here for my buddy, just to make ends meet and get going. All right, guys, have a good one. Be careful. Take care. Talk to you all later.